Finding content after you've passed the beginner stages can be a challenge. You're no longer at the stage where you're reading simple sentences and watching children's cartoons. However, you're not just ready to read the local news and find out about political matters. Doing both of these could be frustrating because they're not quite right. Hi, my name is Tuan. I'm a Texas educator, a TOEFL trained teacher, and a language learner myself. In this video, I'll show you how I use AI to not only help me change things to my level, but also have it to where the new idioms and vocabulary are given to me within a context that'll help me retain the information even further. Using this strategy, you should be able to turn all of the internet into your own personal library. Let me show you how. When I began learning Vietnamese, finding authentic content was so difficult. I just didn't know enough, and the things that I did personally take interest in, they were speaking at a native level, so it made it to where I was not able to truly understand what was going on. And this always presented a challenge for me that at a point in time slowed me down from learning Vietnamese as well. What I've done as a result is I turned to AI so that I could have it to where I could start using the language in a way that would be appropriate for me. Now, I know, everyone promises you that AI is supposed to be a magic bullet. In this specific instance, what I'm doing is I'm showing you a very clear methodology that's going to give you the results of one, taking your material that's in the language that you're learning, it's going to be authentic for you. You'll take that and adapt it to your level. You don't want to take it to where you're removing length, you're removing any of the meaning. We don't want to summarize it even. We don't want to make it shorter. You still want to retain the ability of learning in that way that you would have before. But what we are doing is we're going to make it towards closer to your level, and you're going to have support that will make it easier for you to be able to learn. My idea behind this is following Stephen Krashen's theory of comprehensible input. The ideal is that we learn easier when things are just outside of our reach. Maybe 90% of it is familiar to us and 10% is just something that we have not learned yet. By having it to where we know most of it, but not all, that allows us to pull in those things that we have not learned yet even better. So here's what I'm going to do. I want you to watch me and I want you to follow on your own time. What I do is I go to my AI of choice. Here's a text that I want to read. I'm currently at A2 level in Vietnamese. Please rewrite this text as comprehensible input. Keep the original length and all key details. Use grammar that's 90% familiar to me and 10% new idioms and structures that I have not learned yet. Before the text, please give me a pre-reading scaffolding chart with the 10 most difficult words used in the new version. Now, notice when I wrote that prompt, I used a very specific word, scaffolding. This is a terminology in education that we use referring to when there is support put around a building so that new pieces can be added to that building. We're doing the same thing with our knowledge. We are giving ourselves supports so that we can add on new pieces to our existing knowledge. This chart, as it stated, will show you the 10 words. However, you can adjust it to grammar or idioms that you may not be familiar with as well. Now, here are the results of me putting in that prompt for myself. You'll see here my chart, and you'll see how the text is changed from the beginning and into the newer part. Once I do this, this will help me to understand majority of the story and give me a little something new to learn. However, I don't want to just say, oh, I learned it. What I want for you to do is actually take this time for you to do it yourself. When you're done, you can actually start to use an additional method to make sure that you are putting those words, idioms, or new grammar into your context as much as possible. In my next video, I'll actually talk about something even more advanced using this same context to have it to where you'll build further. It would be a grave shame to not be able to continue it. If you're interested, go ahead and move forward to the next video and you'll see what we have next. Thank you. Goodbye for now.